Higgsfield just rolled out Soul 2.0, and honestly, this feels like a pretty big shift from the usual AI image tools we've been using. Most generators can give you something that looks good at first glance, but the moment you ask for a specific fashion era, a subculture reference, or something that feels editorial instead of generic, it kind of falls apart. Soul 2.0 is supposed to fix that. It's built specifically for fashion-aware, culture-native image generation, which basically means it understands things like Y2K studio vibes, lo-fi streetwear, and actually translates that into composition, lighting, and texture instead of just keywords. The goal isn't just realism, it's taste. Images that feel art-directed, like they came out of a campaign shoot instead of a prompt box. In this video, I'm gonna walk through Soul 2.0 end to end. We'll start from a blank prompt, use presets to lock in a vibe, test reference mode, use NanoBanana to dial it in, try out Soul ID for character consistency, and look at how you can actually use this for campaigns, social content, or even building a digital persona. Alright, so let's head over to Higgsfield, and once you're inside the dashboard, you want to go to the Image tab. On the Models tab down here, pick Soul 2.0. This is their foundation model for high fashion, editorial style visuals, and it sits alongside their other tools, but we're gonna stay focused on Soul for this entire workflow. Right, so now let's take a look at the UI. The layout is pretty straightforward. You've got your prompt box as the main entry point. Additional tools are available so you can quickly lock in a vibe, the tools being Soul ID, Hex, and Moodboard layered into the same interface. That unified setup actually matters more than it sounds, because instead of jumping between 3 different tools for style, identity, and references, everything happens in one place. Before touching any advanced features, I always like to start simple. Think of your first prompt like a creative brief, not just a description. Instead of typing something vague like cool fashion portrait, give it context. For example, something like cinematic portrait of a male model in early 2000s streetwear, shot at night under neon signs, subtle film grain, editorial framing. The reason I'm being this specific is because Soul 2.0 is designed to understand those cultural and fashion cues, so you might as well give it something meaningful to work with. Now, before we generate, this is where presets come in. You'll see a library of aesthetic presets like Y2K Studio, Warm Ambient, Subtle Flash, Mystique City, and more. These are basically pre-tuned style anchors. Instead of manually describing lighting, camera feel, and texture every single time, you can pick a preset that already leans in that direction and let your prompt refine the details. So for this first example, I'll choose something like a Y2K preset to match the early 2000s streetwear vibe we described. Alright, with the prompt set and the preset selected, let's hit generate and see what Soul 2.0 gives us. Once the images come back, don't just look at them and move on. This is where Soul 2.0 actually starts to show what it's good at. You want to check if the image feels intentional. Look at the lighting on the face, the way the outfit sits, the background depth, and whether the overall composition feels like something you'd scroll past or actually stop on. If the vibe is close but not quite there, don't scrap everything. Just tweak the prompt slightly. For example, if it feels too clean and modern, you can add something like harsh direct flash, candid energy, slightly off-center framing. Soul 2.0 responds well to these small creative nudges because it's trained around aesthetic intent, not just object recognition. Now, let's say we really like this direction and we want to build on it instead of starting from scratch. This is where Soul Reference comes in. You can take the image we just generated or upload an external reference and use it as a base. This is super useful if you're building a campaign set or a sequence of posts that need to feel like they came from the same shoot. So let's go ahead and use reference mode, select the image we liked most, and generate a few variations. You'll notice that the framing and aesthetic DNA stay consistent, but the character might shift posture or expression. That's exactly what we want. It feels like multiple shots from one creative direction instead of unrelated AI outputs. So let's say we've landed on an image we really like. This is actually where the broader Higgsfield workflow kicks in. Soul 2.0 is really designed to be the starting point for the creative process. So let's say we've landed on an image we really like. The lighting feels right, the pose works, and the overall aesthetic is exactly what we were aiming for. This is actually where the broader Higgsfield workflow kicks in. Soul 2.0 is really designed to be the starting point for the creative process. The goal here is to generate a strong base image where the composition, lighting, and overall vibe already feel intentional. Once you have that foundation, you can bring the image into another model in Higgsfield, which is NanoBanana 2, to refine it further. I'm sure you've heard of this already. It's Google's newest model. So what I'm going to do is take the image we just generated and move it into NanoBanana. It's more focused on editing and finishing touches. The reason this workflow works so well is because NanoBanana performs best when the starting image is already solid. So for example, if this was for a campaign or a social post, I could bring this image into NanoBanana, refine some textures, maybe add graphic elements or text overlays, and push the final output to production quality. It basically turns your generated image into something that feels ready to publish. Once that edit is done, we can still come back into Soul to generate more variations or build out the rest of the series. So the workflow ends up looking like this. Soul for the creative foundation, NanoBanana for the polish, and then back to Soul when you want new shots in the same direction. Alright, now let's take this a step further. Generating one good image is nice, but what you actually want is consistency. You want the same person to show up again tomorrow, different outfit, different location, and still look like the same human. That's basically what Soul ID is solving. Instead of rolling the dice every time and hoping the face comes out similar, you can actually lock in a specific identity and reuse it across generations. So let me just show you how this works in practice. So let's say we really like the character from our earlier result. We can use those generated images or upload external photos if this is for a real person or a planned digital persona and create a Soul ID profile. After it processes, you'll see that character available as a selectable identity in the interface. Now here's the interesting part. Go back to the prompt box and completely change the scene. For example, instead of neon Y2K streetwear, try something like high fashion studio portrait, soft diffused lighting, luxury tailoring, minimal background. You can even switch presets to something more clean and editorial. Hit generate again. What you should see is the same face, same core identity, but placed into a totally different creative setup. That's the difference between random image generation and a system you can actually build on. Okay, right now that we've got a consistent character, let's talk about dialing in style at a deeper level. This is where SoulHex and Moodboard start to matter inside Higgsfield. Let's start with SoulHex. This is basically color transfer, but done in a way that feels intentional. So for example, if I upload a reference with heavy teal and orange cinematic grading, and then prompt something like street portrait at golden hour, the output won't just be random warm lighting. It'll lean into that specific color balance from the reference. This is really useful if you're trying to match brand colors or keep a consistent feed aesthetic without manually describing every shade in your prompt. Now let's take it one step further with Soul Moodboard. Instead of one image, you can upload multiple references that represent the direction you're aiming for. In practice, this means you can define a full creative direction without writing a massive paragraph. You can do this by clicking on this general section down here, clicking on My Moodboard, and then click on Build Your Moodboard. Okay, here I'll just upload some of the pictures I prepared. It's a golden hour photo shoot, so Higgsfield will try to copy that. I'll create the mood board. Now once it's done, I'll click it, and then let's generate something with this mood board selected. Let's say I want a picture of a guy skateboarding with the golden hour aesthetic for my mood board. I'll generate it, and it came out exactly how I wanted it. This is the point where things start to click. You're not just typing prompts and hoping for the best. You're combining identity, color control, and stylistic references into one workflow. That's what makes Soul 2.0 feel closer to an actual creative pipeline rather than a random image generator. All right, now that we've gone through everything, let's zoom out for a second, because features are nice, but what really matters is whether this holds up in real projects. For social content, Soul 2.0 is where it starts to click. You define a character once, lock in a style with a preset or mood board, and then generate batches that actually feel consistent instead of all over the place. For brand campaigns, it's the same workflow but a bit more controlled. You set the direction with a mood board, align colors with hex, and generate a full set of visuals using the same character so everything stays on brand. And for personal branding or virtual influencers, this is where it really stands out, because you're not just making images, you're building a persona that can exist across different scenarios while still feeling like the same person. So overall, it works best when you treat it like a system. Lock in identity, define the style, and then iterate from there. Is it going to replace a full production team or high-end fashion photography? No, but that's not really the point. For creators, brands, and solo builders who need speed, consistency, and control without spinning up a full photo shoot, this actually feels usable long-term. If you want to try it yourself, you can head over to higgsfield.ai and start experimenting with Soul 2.0. They offer free credits so you can test prompts, presets, and identity workflows without committing upfront. Play around with different vibes, build a character, push the style further than you think, and see how far you can take it. That's it for this one. If this walkthrough helped, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.